Hello, everybody, and welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Tell a friend. Hello, tribe. We apologize for being late today, but real world jobs got in the way of Married at First Sight Australia. So buckle up. This is going to be a condensed version because we couldn't not give you episodes 17 and 18 of season 12. Okay, so Jamal, what were your impressions of the first two episodes this week?
They were just very the story flows, which is why I always like about the show. The story flows.
Mm-hmm.
And to see like some of these relationships just completely disintegrate and burn to the ground, it's just like, whoa. I was like, dang. I mean, you can see it coming, right? It's not playing no games. We can see these coming, but to see them just like to crash, burn, and then people talking about they want to change their minds and stuff, like what?
This week was interesting for me. I'm not gonna lie. This week was interesting in the same way how you said like the crashing and burning. I didn't expect so many all in one week.
I, I was like, who's gonna be left? Y'all gonna bring in more intruders?
No, there's no more intruders. This is it. So we're gonna be limping into the end if they get rid of everybody that I want to get rid of, but they never do that. Okay, so let's start with episode 17. This is the third commitment ceremony, and all the couples are getting ready. I don't care about any of that. So let's see who they bring up on the couch first. Okay, first up on the couch is Veronica and Elliot. Let me see if I can find them. Here they go. Alrighty. What were your thoughts of their couch session?
Let me see. Let me get started with this. I mean, Veronica, she's not one to be played with. I like her,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that she has a lot to offer, and she's not blindly following what's his face, which I really do like. She's
Elliot.
thinking for her, yeah, she's thinking for herself. She's taking in everything, and she's being objective, which I was like, okay, this is good. I'm feeling her. I really am.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that everyone's holding him accountable for what he said, and I like the fact that the experts weren't going to just let him skate by. Like you did, you have basically they told him he hadn't learned a thing. That's pretty much what I took from it. And
Yeah.
Elliot being Elliot, he was like, I got. Well, he did say he got defensive, but yada yada yada. And they were telling him like, well, you need to stop. Basically, they told him you need to stop it.
Yeah,
You just need to stop.
basically, yeah, Veronica and the experts called him out on his behavior at the dinner party the night before, how he was interacting or communicating with not only Lauren, but some of the other people on in the experiment who were calling him to task for his behavior and trying to hold him accountable. And they're like, wait, I thought you changed. You heard what we were saying to you, so we allowed you to come back on here. Um, he likes Veronica. I think
Right,
Veronica liked him on the honeymoon, but that
right.
dinner pumped the brakes a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
she seemed she seemed sharper than she was when we first met her, because when we first met her, remember, she was like, oh my god, okay, it's fine, but it was her friends who were like, red flag.
Yes.
All of a sudden she went to the dinner and now all of a sudden she's her friends. Okay, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. But why the sudden turnaround? Why were you so loopy doopy at the wedding, but now all of a sudden you paying attention. You should have been paying
Because
attention. He told you what he said in his vows.
right.
But anyway, they're giving him another chance. They both vote to stay. Anything else with them?
Mm-mm.
Hold on. Who's next? Lauren and uh Clint. Why do I have Quinn down here? Oh my God, Clint. This is another thumb looking whatever. Anyway, um, they had nothing much to say. They asked how they were doing the second time, like how Alessandra's asking her how her second time around is. And Lauren says it's been an upgraded experience. Clint has all the qualities she's looking for. Um, One of the main things she wants is a masculine energy. He's curious about her life, her family, her work. She feels like they have each other's backs. Um, she says with Elliot's vows, he talked about traits that she asked for, but his actions were different. Clint's actions have been there. Clint thinks that she ticks off all the boxes, and he doesn't want to give any offense to any of the other ladies in the room, but he thinks that she's the most breathtaking person in the room, and both of them vote to stay. Um, she was being shady, but I liked it.
I like Lauren. I really do. Clint is interesting. We don't know him yet, but it's so far so good. But you could tell that he's more laid back and she's more girt. And as much as she says she doesn't want to be like she likes gender roles and yada yada yada, she has an opinion, she likes to be in charge. She likes to be in charge to an extent, but she wants someone who can match her and exceed her in that realm to where she
Mhm.
knows that she's protected and safe. And I think she acts that way to test the men to see like, can you handle me?
You know what I took away from their couch session? I
Hmm.
took away she either is very vindictive or she still has feelings for Elliot because she was petty in what she said in here. She was ticking up saying everything that Clint is that Elliot portrays, purports to be, but can't ever get there.
Hmm.
So I think I don't think she's attracted to Clint. I'm gonna be
No,
perfectly honest with
no.
that.
No, what she's attracted to, can we call a thing on this? She's attracted to everything about him, if that makes sense. She's attracted to everything about him but his looks. If you follow me.
At this point, I think she's only attracted at the fact that he backed her up at the dinner.
Well, that's more than Elliot did for her.
That's true because Clint
So
showed up.
that's what I'm saying. She's attracted to everything
Mhm.
about him but his looks. That's just the way I'm seeing it right now.
Mhm. Okay. Alrighty. So they both vote to stay. Next up is oh God, Jackie and Ryan.
Okay, so I, I have to say this. I'm going back to this. I need the what I call it? Oh, I need the experts exclusion to come into play because I'm like, why are you here?
Yeah. I think they're one of those couples that think that they're producers and they are creating their own storyline on a whim, and they have an agreement to stay till the end.
They
I don't
do.
see chemistry between the two of them at all.
Zero.
And she's so
Zero.
erratic, and he is. I used to think that he was clueless, but I give him credit for putting up with her eccentricities. That's how I'm going to put it very mildly.
I mean, I got you. I got you. She's a sick trick. We'll call it that.
But the good thing is that Ryan apologized for their behavior, to TJ and Beth, their behavior at the wedding. He apologized. I felt good about that. But they do go through the argument at the wedding, and
Hmm.
Ryan says he felt persecuted. I don't know, like it just feels like they're making this shit up as they go. Oh,
Right.
and they talk about her list of violations or atrocities that poor Ryan has done to her. At this point, if he smothers her during her sleep, I would not convict him. I would not. I cannot believe that she has me on his side, but her behavior is so attention grabbing and so uncalled for. It's just ruining my enjoyment of the show.
I'm not gonna
Um,
lie. When I saw them pop up on my screen, I was like, "Y'all still here?
mhm.
Why?"
Yep. Yep. It's just really weird. Um, John did say that some people might think that writing down all your grievances might not work, but in a strange way, it did work for the two of them. I was like, John, shut up. You know these two are frauds. She wrote a huge list. They got into a huge fight. They supposedly resolved it and came loved up to the couch to talk about how they overcame their challenge. Get out of here.
Hmm.
Anyway, the two Bobos decide to stay. Next up, we have Ree and Jeff. Um, Alessandra asks what issues they have, and we start on about the text that Jackie sent to Jeff, and Jeff told Ree, and she broke girl code, and blah, 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 blah. If ever there was a storyline that I did not care about, it was the text that Jackie sent to Jeff.
I agree. I
Um,
absolutely agree. And the reason why I did not care was simply because it's kind of old at this point. No offense to like Ree, no offense to her at all.
mhm.
But ma'am, you had your chance and had your moment at the dinner party or whatever. It's
Yeah.
kind of over now. It's kind of overdone.
Yes. Yes. Agreed. Um, but in the end, Ree says that they are doing well. Um, was it this session that she announced that they had sex? Yes.
Yes.
Jackie announced, not Jackie. Ree announces that she and Jeff became intimate, and so they are finally moving forward. Do I see
Yes.
any more attraction between the two of them or chemistry between the two of them now after being intimate? No, no. They're boring, but they both decide to stay. Next up, let me see if I can find them. Is Sierra and Billy. Here they are. These two were a mess. These two were a mess. They wanted to unpack what happened to them at dinner last night.
Hmm.
Um, uh, okay, so Adrian and Tony and Sierra had dinner together.
Hmm.
The next day was the photo shoot, and apparently Sierra spent the whole day with Athena, but never once told her that she had dinner with Adrian the night before. Am I sorta right?
Right.
And no one told Billy either about Sierra having dinner with another groom.
But
Uh,
okay, is it? But she was more concerned about um
Athena.
Athena than Bella.
But was she though? Because do you notice how she converses with people? She's like, yeah, yeah, sure, okay. I feel sorry, sorry, yeah. How genuine does that sound?
It doesn't.
And then there's the total, like, that's how she's talking to Athena, apologizing. And then she doesn't even speak to Billy. And she's
Nada.
trying to ride this thing about how he said in anger, do you want a wife swap? I completely understand why he said it. Do I agree that he should have said it? No. But I
Agreed.
understood in the heat of the moment, you going out on more dinners with my wife, Adrian. So do you want to swap? Because that's what the show is known for.
Right.
But she's dying on that mountain. How much did you want me? He wanted you, but did you want him, Sierra? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. They like how did they go so wrong? Like they were good at the wedding and honeymoon. How did they go so wrong? Sierra, get some therapy, sweetie. Something in you is broken. Something in you is broken. That secret that you're holding that you only feel comfortable sharing with the worst groom ever, Adrian, but not Billy. I I hope you get some help. And before you get into your next relationship, fix you first. That's all I got to
Exactly.
say about her.
And to me, this is why I would remember we said with them, like we don't have to watch them because, and I was it was mainly because of her. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's like, and you called it, and I agree with you. It's self sabotage, and that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly
Um,
what happened.
Let me see. Billy votes to leave, and Sierra votes to leave. But then after they both vote to leave, right? Like they start opening up a conversation with her. Does she have regrets? And I was like, wait, are they gonna let them reverse this so that she could stay behind with Adrian? Like, what is going on here? It was so weird. Their decision and their time on the couch. Um, I mean, I was actually screaming into my phone because did you notice that when oh okay Jamal had to run for a little bit when they were on the couch. They kept when Sierra and Billy were on the couch. They kept on flashing to Adrian, and he had this kind of weird look on his face. She kept on looking over to the couch, presumably at Adrian. There's something weird going on there. But basically, um, she says that she wishes that that Billy has spoken to her like this before, and so that she could have heard him. She also wishes that they could stay. Stay for what? Stay for what? And they pan over to Adrian. And in my opinion, she's playing a game to stay on the experiment so that she can mess around with her best friend Adrian. Um, let's see. Billy is asked if he regrets anything, and he says he doesn't regret his decision. Agreed. He says he's been open, honest from the beginning. They could have had these conversations on numerous occasions, and she didn't want to talk. Sierra admits that she did shut off. And we see Adrian shaking his head at the same time. Um, Next, we see oh, the experts tell them the rules of the experiment, and since both of them wrote leave, they are off the show. Perfect. Next, we see Beth and TJ. They come up to the couch. They are loved up. They are happy. They are staying in their little bubble. They are staying out of the madness and the fray that is this experiment. Let's see. TJ says from the wedding, they've been getting along very well. Beth says she wasn't expecting to click this quickly with someone. Both TJ and Beth vote to stay. Next up, we have. Let me see if I can find them. Where the hell are they? There they are. Okay, the one box I didn't go over. Jamie and Dave. Jamie and Dave come up on the couch. Jamie says she rides or dies for people that she loves. The expert then says, rewind about the love thing. Do you have love for Jamie? Are you in love? Sorry, is Jamie in love with Dave? And she says she wants to clarify. She has love for him. Um, and then the expert asks Dave where he's at with his feelings for Jamie. And he says he definitely has feelings for her. This is all very exciting for the experts because one of these trash boxes is actually working. Both Jamie and Dave vote to stay. Next up, we have Karina and Paul. This is another successful couple so far. Um, they're asked where they're at to date. Karina says she feels good in the relationship and it's blossoming. Paul says he feels comfortable and at ease with Karina. Both of them decide to stay. Next up, we have Morena and Tony. The experts say that they enjoyed their matching outfits at the dinner last night. Tony says that he listened to their advice and decided to spend more time with Morena. They went on dates and for dinner. And he said Morena was like Tina Turner. Who knew? Because I guess she was singing at a restaurant. Um, mm, He said that they would play games, he would let her win. But on the couch, their body language remains the same as it ever was. They are not together. They're at opposite ends of the couch. Oh, here comes. Oops. Hey Jamal, welcome back.
Hey, thank you. That was a call from the people, so it's like,
Right.
okay,
No, I know.
yeah.
I know.
Thank you.
We're up to Morena, and I was just explaining. I went through Karina and Paul and Jamie and Dave and Beth and TJ. Everybody's happy. Everybody voted to stay. We're up to Morena and Tony, and basically, he's going on about how much better their relationship was this week because he listened to the experts, but their body language is the same. They're both separated on the couch, and she looks sad. She
Yeah.
doesn't look happy to be there. And so after he says his business, um, the experts ask about her, how she's feeling. And she says the exact opposite. She says it's really lovely to hear what he said, but she just doesn't feel it. And the experts asked what would it take to feel it, and she says she asked him to be a gentleman. She's asked him not to fist pump her, and he still does it. She's asked him to stop putting her in a headlock, but he still does that too. And she says, I'm sorry, but I'm not fine with that. And then she attacks the other crew and says, why are you laughing? Stop focusing on them. Focus on the man that putting you in a
Thank you.
headlock. Tony says this is how he shows his affection in touch. She asked if a headlock was affection. He he asked her how he should show her affection. And I'm like, Tony, for real? You headlock, like, you are 53 years old. Who are you putting in
Right.
a headlock? Who are you fist pumping? Like, oh my God. I don't think she should have to explain this to him.
Well,
He's
she
got
should,
two
but
marriages under his belt.
he had me crying with that mess though, like crying. Um, I was like, she has a point. Well, she's acting like a gentleman, like treat her like a lady, not
Mm-hmm.
not one of like his dude friends. So I did get that,
Mm-hmm. But
and
did
Tony was
you?
just like,
Mm-hmm.
hmm,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Tony was cracking me. He was like really bewildered, like I don't understand, like what did I do wrong, blah blah blah. I'm like, sir, you treated her like she's your beer buddy, and that's not the case.
Mm-hmm. But did you
He,
notice after she said that, he's in a way to like to me, in my opinion, he started to love bomb her because then he pulled her in for a hug and then like he doubled down on the hug. It was very weird. And she didn't want to come over for it.
nah,
And it just felt like he was trying to shut her down, like shut down the complaints by giving her a little bit of what she wants.
right.
Um, he says that he says that they're developing a foundation of friendship, and there needs to be um, progress and hope. And I'm like, you now trying to develop a foundation of friendship for hope? We halfway through the experiment.
I'm glad you said that.
What are we doing here? We are wasting our time. Both of y'all get off my screen. Both of them vote to stay. Unbelievably, I could not. Whatever. Oh my God. Next up. Next up. Hold on. Let me get back here. We got Athena and Adrian. Let me see if I can find these two bubbles here. Do you want to? Here we go. Here we go.
This is
Um,
another couple, expulsion, expert expulsion. I can't with these two because she just stayed too long, like way too long. It was she should have left after the wedding,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I felt bad for her on a human level. I really do. But again, when all the flags are there and you're verbalizing all the flags and you keep trying to talk to this person who does not want to change, who does not care about you, is causing a thing. He will
Mhm.
never be the man you need him to be, but you kept trying to make it happen because you guys had a sexual chemistry. That's great. Y'all can see each other on
Mhm.
weekends, but as far as a full-time relationship, that's just a no-go.
Yeah. So I noticed John took over the questioning for this couple. So it seems like he does like the really, really serious ones where the boys are at fault.
Right.
And basically, he asks Athena, like, where are we at? And so Athena recounts the promo shoot, his behavior because he wasn't included in some pictures, how he left her and the wedding ring behind, how he blocked her at one point on the text messages because she kept on asking, "Where are you? Are you coming back?" And he was like, "Nah, I'm gone home." And tell them that if they don't put me in the promo, I'm not coming back. Like she's coming to the realization that he's not here for her and any sort of relationship with her. He is here to get on the promo shoots for this trash box show. And then on top of that, she finds out that while he was like ghosting her, he was out with Sierra
Hmm.
and no care for her. And he has a habit of when people are asking him to explain himself, he mumbles off something, and then he, when people are trying to engage him in conversation, like keep on asking him questions, he says, let me talk." But we're trying to get you to say something that makes
Right.
sense. And he's very defensive and he's very manipulative of this woman. He's very manipulative of her. And I think he realizes who he can run game on and who he can't. And he can't exactly run game on John. So he has to sit there and actually come up with some sort of reasonable answer. And this is another time that I noticed that he was looking over towards the couch and they kept on panning over to Sierra. And
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she was sitting there hoping that he would write go to be with
Right.
her. But this is a good wake up call for her when we get down to the votes.
Mm-hmm. But also
Um,
he also said that they asked him like, do you feel like you have a deeper connection with Sierra than Athena? And he said no. I was like, oof.
exactly. He threw Sierra under the bus. But he did lie and said that he tried to that he invited out Athena to join them. And she's like, no, you didn't. Stop lying. He even got Tony lying for him in a future episode. Oh no, it's on an interview. Sorry, it's on an interview that I heard this week. Even Tony's saying that he texted Athena. But you know what? You could put your brother's phone number in your phone and call it Athena and say that
Right.
you inviting her to dinner.
Exactly.
Tony don't know no better. Um, John basically does a whole rundown of all of what he saw Adrian do. And he said that he heard from the producers and got details on his behavior. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, in relation to how he's interacting with Athena, he says he's not showing any empathy. Um, he's not showing that he understands you're not involved with the promo, so you took it out on her and left her, and you wouldn't contact her. Like, what man does that? Like, you do that to people that you don't like.
Mm-hmm. He don't like
um
her.
let's see, then he goes into like how he behaved at the dinner party when people were questioning him on what happened. And he said, you're getting defensive, just like how you were at the dinner party. He says, your fight style is to get aggressive and to win. It's a pattern and you have to change it. He says,
I did like that, and they told him he needs to
yes,
change that.
yes. Um, Athena won't be able to get close to you, and it's why she's dancing around because she's afraid of your reactions. And he's Adrian is so focused on putting Athena in her place.
Mm-hmm.
And John then asked Athena, how did it land for you when you found out he left? And Athena says that it validated how she was feeling for quite some time, which is invisible. She doesn't feel like he considered her at all. She said it's just a promo video and he should be there for her. His actions show her that she is not his priority. And then they go back to him and let him talk, and he's talking about self-sabotage. He says being he's a man and being a man in making dumb decisions. I was like, wait, what? Alessandra jumped in and was like, being a man doesn't mean you make dumb decisions.
That
Stop
was
talking about it.
hilarious. She was, let me help you real quick.
But remember, I don't think she really likes him or Elliot.
Oh
So
no.
let's see. Then Dave chirped up and said, wouldn't you love to get to know someone like Athena? And Adrian says, yeah, sure. Sounding just like Sierra. Um, and then says, then you see Athena crying because somebody other than her arranged spouse was saying that she was a wonderful person. Oh my God. Why'd they do this to a single mom? Seriously? Adrian then lies and says that he cares for Athena. He knows he's doing wrong and he wants to do better. Shut up. Shut up. Um, then then you see him do this ballsy move. Like he's pulled it at the dinners and he's pulled it on her. But then he goes to the like on the couch. I guess when the experts were getting ready to say something, he then leans forward to grab his envelope and says, basically just cuts it, tries to change the subject and talk about what his decision is. And I was just like, are we serious? Who running this show? Who is running this show? Adrian's got a lot of balls. Um, John
With him,
says,
the thing, like you could just tell that this is just a pattern of behavior with him, because it's repeated
mhm,
behavior, and if you notice, it's the same shtick over and over and
yep,
over.
yep.
Like there's no change, like literally no change. I'm there like, how are you getting away with this?
But listen, John has his number because when he pulled that deflection, John said, "You really want to go there?" And Adrian opens up his envelope and says, "I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay." Wow.
And all of a sudden they're like, why?
Exact. Well, he's probably got his eye on somebody else.
Have to.
Next up, they ask Athena for her decision, and Adrian says we don't need it. He was just disgusting. This whole, like, I
Mm-hmm.
would have stopped if I was John, and I would have said you're off the show. How degrading and demoralizing. But God bless him. Um, Athena, when she's given a moment, brings up confession week and the letter writing project and how he didn't participate. She says she went back in the drawer and found hers, and she read like the last part of it, which struck with her the most. And she's talking about being like significant milestones with her son and her being a mom. And she said coming on the experiment, um, she was being selfish in order to find love and a stepfather for her son.
Mm-hmm.
And she said today it didn't feel like it was worth missing those very real milestones. I felt bad for her.
Oh, I felt horrendous for her.
I felt bad. Everybody is kind of tearing up. Then they pan over to Sierra again. Why are we looking at Sierra during their couch session? John goes over the rules because Athena finally wrote leave. She wrote sorry leave. Why are you being
Hmm.
sorry?
Exactly.
So then John goes over the rules and says if one person writes leave and the other one writes stay, you have to stay another week to try and fix it. Um, Athena is asked if she hears him saying he's going to turn it around, meaning Adrian. And she said, yeah, she's heard it. And John asks if she believes it. And she says that tonight feels like a big whack in the face. He probably does truly believe that he wants to start showing up for her, but she's not sure he's able to. That's key. Um, John says it's out on the table. The challenge is there. It's up to Adrian. Adrian says he's well aware that she's taking time away from her son, so he needs to show up. He's trying to hug her and force her into like the hug, and this is all part of his manipulation. It's both
Right.
mental and physical. Um, I said I cannot stand him. My God. They go back to the couch and she gets a hug from Jamie. And Dave points at Adrian and tells him, "Don't fuck this up. Dave, stay out of it.
Right.
You only hurting this girl more." Um, and that was basically the end of the episode because she's sitting on the couch next to Adrian looking shell shocked. She is emotionally wasted. Um, The next episode, episode 18. I love the couch sessions. Ay, ay, ay. Episode 18. The intruder couples move into the lofts. Um, a bunch of stuff. I don't know if there's anything pertinent here. Oh, with Jamie and Dave, Billy comes over with his fish tank and gives it to them too and says, "You have to take care of my children." And he leaves the dirty, poopy fish tank with them. Jamie is not too happy because she feels that it has bad juju from Billy and Sierra. I don't blame her. Um, Marina and Tony, they're yammering on about headlocks still. Girl, let it go. Then we get to Athena and Adrian. They're still in separate rooms. I don't like how he came over to her apartment.
Yeah, he was very entitled. I was like, whoa, that's a bit much, sir.
Mm-hmm. He's got that shit eating grin on his face, and she looks flat or deflated. And he's
Yeah,
trying, like, they're sitting down at the table, and he's trying to, like, run his game on her, like, trying to put into her head what he wants her to do. And she's like, I can't talk about this. I don't want to talk about this with you. I don't blame her. It's like she's down, but she's not out. She's still holding strong against him in a little way, I feel. Um oh, okay. So she says that she's been on her own for the last 4 weeks. And she would have loved it if he had walked in and taken some accountability and apologized, but he didn't. She tells him that she's struggling to have the conversation. She says she doesn't want to talk about anything right now. She says that he doesn't cater to her at all. He
mhm.
doesn't ask her questions. He says that he has never. She says that he's never once asked her since they met about her son and how her son is. And
But I agree with her, but here's the problem I have. He has
mhm,
never shown any interest in your son, so why are you still there? That's my thing with her. Like I
yep.
said, I sympathize with her as a person,
But
but
she
this man
did
has,
say, no, go ahead.
but he has never shown any interest in your child. So to even bring that up, I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense given his whole demeanor about the situation.
Well, you'll see in the following two episodes where she says she would like casually talk about her kid and stuff,
Yeah,
like dropping hints to see if he would engage, and he never would. Like, this girl really does give people more chances than they deserve. And
agreed.
we talked about that with her previous relationship. She said she stayed there longer than she should have, and that she was probably giving her child's father, chance after chance after chance. She's doing this, she's repeating the same patterns here. As much as Adrian is repeating his patterns, she is repeating her patterns too. But she's finally waking up, I think. It took her long enough, but she's finally waking up. Um, he says, hopefully, we can do some work and get back to where we were. Where were y'all?
Exactly.
Unbelievable. We're going into Family and Friends Week for the original couples. The intruder couples are doing the intimacy weeks challenges, with the pictures, the letter writing, and all of that. So Ree and Jeff meet with their family and friends, and nothing much happened. They even tried to bring up the text message thing again, but
Flop next.
yeah, it was a flop for me. Then we see Jackie and Ryan. This was weird. This was weird. His friends was calling her out on her shitty behavior, and her friends was making excuses for her shitty behavior.
Right.
And his friends seem to think that Ryan has a personality.
They're delusional too.
But it was interesting to see how both of their friends view them.
It really is because the friends were like, "Well, he hasn't been in a relationship in a long time, and he doesn't know." Basically, what they said, basically, they agree with Jackie. That's the way I took it. They would the things that Jackie was complaining about,
Hmm.
they agreed with because he had not been in a relationship in a while. He's not used to doing those things, and this just tells me that he hasn't been in that many relationships, or is not emotionally intelligent enough to pick up on the cues of a relationship. It's one or the other for me.
Hmm. Well, they bring up the crazy eyes part, and everyone at the table is like, "Oh, crazy eyes," and she's like, "No, I love it. I love it. I have crazy eyes." And then Ryan says, "Well, that's not the worst part. I said she gives awesome head." And his friend spits his drink out. How does everybody know that this was the wrong thing for him to say except Ryan? And why do we keep repeating this? Oh, fuck. Um, one of the friends said a gentleman doesn't kiss and tell. Agreed. And they said because it's personal. Um, Ryan says he has no problem with learning from his mistakes. He says constant reassurance can be difficult, you think? Um, Jackie says she thinks that hearing from his friends is helping her to see Ryan in a different light. And somebody said, "Cheers, big ears." And I was, who are they talking? Oh, these are the strangest things. But that was all for them. Then we get to the meat of this episode. Oh, I kept these people up. Well, this we get back to Athena and Adrian again. They're meeting with his two sisters and his best friend and her twin sister. This poor restaurant. His sisters and his best friend came in locked and loaded to attack Athena. He had primed them ahead of time with everything that he thinks she did to him and that she is wrong about. And they got there before her sister did. I wonder why. It was a gang up. They wouldn't let her talk. She was trying to explain. I don't know why she was trying to explain to these heifers. But then her sister rolled up. They wearing the same outfit. They hugging. She's so glad her sister's there. And the sister sits down and starts listening to what's going on at the table. And she's seen the twin sisters, but especially the best friend with the red hair, trying to go in on Athena. And she was like, my sister is the best mom in the world. And you ain't got nothing to say about it. I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. I like it happened so quickly. So quickly. But the twin sisters are very much like Adrian in temperament. I feel everyone in that family knows how to manipulate people, and are basically bullies. That's how I feel that whole family was raised. They're a bunch of gutter snipes. And they don't listen. They don't pay attention to um anyone else's feelings, nothing. It is just crazy how they behaved. Um Basically they were coming after her. Hold on, let me see what I have here in my notes. Can you confidently say that you haven't done anything wrong? Why are they asking her that? What about your brother? Cleo steps in and she says that her sister looks drained. She looks like she's been crying. Um, the red-haired lady, she's saying, it's very hard for anyone to get along when you're only focusing on the negatives. And Cleo rebuts and she says, "Stop it right there. He's not showing up." Hold on, Jamal's back. Hey,
Are you talking about like how he'll like? Are you at the friends meeting with Athena and what's his
yes,
face?
yes.
That was
Um,
just a mess.
yes. Basically, I was at the part where Cleo was telling the redheaded chick that Adrian hasn't shown up for her sister and like stop like attacking her, you know?
Right.
Okay, so Athena then mentions stuff about her son and that Adrian's never asked her. And Adrian says her son is a special person in her life, so when she's ready to talk about him, she'll talk about him. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all have plenty of times when the cameras are down that if you don't want to bring it up on camera, you could actually ask her about her kid. And
Right.
some was it Alessandra who said in the last couch session, like, you talk at night, don't you? So it's very weird.
Exactly. And she was like, I will casually bring up my son here and there, blah blah blah. And he doesn't.
Mhm.
He basically doesn't engage in that conversation. I'm like, well, it kind of makes sense, given the fact that he has no interest in your child or anyone else's child. But given the context of this conversation, he can't.
Well, they start attack. To me, they were attacking Athena as like being a mother, and Cleo had to jump in because it's that redheaded chick. She had everything for Athena. I wonder what's going on there, best friend. Um, and Cleo had to say, "Don't speak about her being a mother." And the redheaded girl just starts laughing. Um, then one of his twin sisters calls Cleo and I guess Athena Ratchet. I think that's what they said. They get up and they leave. They walk out because they decide that it's no conversation here. But you can't have conversation when you're attacking sisters and redheaded girl. Um, Adrian gets up to go with his sisters and his best friend, and I think it was Athena who said um, to make sure you leave the apartment, and he said happy to. He's nasty. He's nasty. I would have put his belongings out in the hallway so he would have no excuse to come back to that apartment. They get outside, Adrian, his sisters, and his best friend, and they start blaming Cleo for everything that has happened. Her bad behavior ruined everything. Um, I was shocked by this. But then again, this is all part of the manipulation. This is all part of what Adrian and now I can see his sisters and his friends do. They have made him into this person that cannot take accountability for anything. Um, Adrian actually has the balls to stand up outside and says he gave up time from his job and his dog. As if that's supposed to equate with Athena being away from her son. One of his sisters goes back inside and says, hey, I'm a mom and I'm away from my child to come down here and do this, as if that is on the same level as Athena being away from her child for 5 weeks. Adrian and his family could just go away, period. Um, Adrian says that he wants to let Athena embarrass herself. He's not a man, not to me. One of the sisters says you can put a ribbon on a garbage bin, but it's still trash. And in my opinion, she should know because she's fucking trash. Oh wait, Adrian. Hey Jamal.
Yo,
All right. Then we see a stupid scene with Karina bringing Kentucky Fried Chicken to Beth. To Beth.
okay.
Yeah,
Here's
that
my whole thing.
every season they have to have that paid announcement.
They do, but y'all could have got like Chick-fil-A or Popeyes though. Y'all came up with that
They
dry
don't have that
original
down
KFC.
there. They don't have that
Oh,
down there.
oh, okay. Sorry, y'all. My apologies.
Next up is hold on, Veronica and Elliot. This was weird. This was weird. Veronica is having some concerns about Elliot, so she decides to go down to Lauren's apartment.
I
Why?
was like, okay, make
You
your own
heard,
opinion.
but she heard everything she needed to hear at the dinner. Why are you
Hmm.
going to hear more?
Storyline. Because, like you said, she heard everything that needed to be said at the dinner. Like, that would, to me, what they did in real time, the back and forth, was more than enough for her to make her decision, or at least having some insight. She needed. I agree with you. She didn't really need to go talk. She didn't need to go talk to Lauren one on one.
No, she
Because
didn't.
the thing is, because Lauren's gonna do is trash him.
Yep.
Like he's already said what he said in front of you, so there was no need for that.
Oh my god. Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry I didn't see the comments. I Well, we had comments. Look, I'm sorry I didn't see it because I'm in the studio and I didn't flip to the chat in Restream. Hello, everybody in the chat. The whole time I'm thinking that we aren't like there's nobody in our chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Thank you for joining us this late. We really do appreciate it. I and then like Lauren's telling Veronica that Elliot is a narcissist and that she had a friend who was with a narcissist for many, like, so unnecessary. So unnecessary. But it does, I guess they want to set it up that this taints Veronica's opinion
Right.
of Elliot.
Agreed.
Um we leave that scene. We go the intruder couples. They are doing their tasks. TJ and Beth, they do the picture ranking, don't care. Lauren and Clint, they do the picture ranking as well. He's doing it based on appearance. um I don't know, I lost track of this. But I was trying to figure out where he put Jackie because he's with Jackie now. He's with
Uh,
Jackie now.
I think Jackie was like in the middle somewhere. I think.
But you will notice in the next two episodes, I want you to pay attention to the editing. And the producers are so shady. Where they place Jackie and Clint at the dinner.
Hmm.
So let's see. Next up, they're watching the audition. This is where I picked up. Lauren's audition tape has her sounding like a full on go go.
Yes, it really did though.
But now she's trying to pick on Clint though because she doesn't like that he manscapes and gets a spray tan. Stop. So this is when I really think that she is still has a thing for musty, sweaty, hairy Elliot. Um, you know what? Let me just take these damn pictures down because I'm not keeping up. Veronica and Elliot are next, and this went left. They're doing the photo challenge, and he's doing it based on appearances only. She did hers, and she incorporated character in addition to appearance. He put her first, and she put him like third or fourth.
Third,
Third, and I was just like, oh, she petty as fuck.
she was. I was screaming. I'm like, oh, and he was just like, okay.
But what I noticed is that she is him and he is her. just in male and female form. They're both the same. He's just not used to somebody treating him the way how he treats other people.
Mm.
You notice that? Because look, what she's doing to him in this episode is basically what he was doing to Lauren his first time around.
I can see the similarities.
But she takes it up like she's on meth. The next challenge that they get, it doesn't end well. It really doesn't. So I'm giving you a heads up on that. Um,
Darling.
let's see. I don't have anything else. He's not happy. She must be the first woman. Oh, I my own comment to myself. He's not happy. She must be the first woman to not place um her man first. Veronica is probably the only woman who has not placed her partner as number one. She's like breaking barriers here. My God. Okay. So shallow, but what would you expect from Ellie? Thank you, Tracy. True, true. This was a crazy episode. But the storyline is moving on. The couples are falling apart, and I'm here for it. I truly am here for it. I do apologize for Jamal being in and out. Like I said, today's been a crazy, crazy day for both of us. Um, Hold on. You lost it for Veronica at this point. She started acting really weird at this point. I I almost started feeling bad for Elliot. No, I'm not feeling bad for Elliot, Tracy. I'm not feeling bad for him. Look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. He getting a dose of his own medicine. It's the next task that was like, damn, she's being a little irrational. Woo! But I was still enjoying it though. I'm still enjoying it. Elliot did not give Lauren enough of a chance. Those two would have been perfect together because they would have been bouncing their nasty, petty behavior off of each other and it would have been epic. But instead, and honestly, by the time I got to episode 20, I truly feel, in my opinion, that Veronica is a hired actress that they brought in here with a script to get back at Elliot because I feel that production is pissed that Elliot ruined their matching with Lauren. And they knew that that would have been great, the two of them fighting, but instead he walked out. And so I found it strange that they allowed him to come back. And at first I was thinking, oh, maybe they were trying to give Lauren a second chance. But these are two vile people. Let's just call a thing a thing. I feel Veronica is a paid actress to come in and basically be him and give him like what he deserves and make his stay on the show miserable. And if she continues to act this way, you thought Veronica was Lauren's friend or half sister? They do look similar. They do. But no, that's not her sister. Because remember, we saw her sister, that blonde chick that didn't know how to behave at the first wedding. But yeah, this is my feelings about Veronica. It's just too perfect how she's treating him. And I should be a writer on these shows. I should think up storylines for these mongrels. I really should. But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. We are so sorry we had to push back the time of the show, and we truly appreciate all of you who came into the chat. We really appreciate it. We appreciate any comments we get with the replay crew. And we will see you tomorrow, hopefully at 6. I'm planning to be here at 6. Oh, Jamal is back. Hey Jamal, I'm just wrapping up. Do you
Okay.
have any final thoughts on who are we talking about? Veronica and Elliot?
I'm just interested to see how it plays out. These two are a mess. Veronica's not having it, and Elliot looks lost and bewildered by her.
Mm-hmm.
He looks confused. Like, who are
Did
you? Where'd you come from?
Did you hear my theory on that?
No, I missed it.
Okay, so my theory is that production was pissed that Elliot screwed up his pairing with Lauren by not giving her a chance because basically those two would have fought all the way through the season.
Right.
So they decided to bring him back, which was unprecedented. But I think they hired Veronica, who's a trained actor, and gave her a script on how to feed him his own medicine.
I could go with that.
And the sad part about it is that I think he actually likes her.
Oh, I agree with you 1,000%.
Mhm. So that's my theory on that. So it's retribution from production with them. Um, you know my show for sure. They brought her in on purpose, brought on her friend. Yeah. It's just weird. But tomorrow hopefully we'll be back at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. But if there are any changes to the schedule, we'll try to let you guys know. Okay. Thanks for riding with us. Thanks to the new subscribers who joined the tribe. Welcome, welcome. And we will see you tomorrow for episodes 19 and 20. All right.
Yes.
And Jamal, any final comments, thoughts?
No, I think we're good.
All right, guys. Thanks again. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye.